Good day, folks. Welcome back to My Neck of the Woods. My name's Dika, where I share my experience and my knowledge, hoping to lessen your learning curve. So today, I'm going to talk about 3 simple tips or tricks that can help you see more deer when you're out deer hunting. Ultimately, you get more deer on your dinner table, get more deer in your freezer. Whatever your goal is, I'm sure it involves seeing more deer, and these little tips and tricks will help you, okay? So before I get started, please sub my channel, make some comments, like my videos. All of it helps out the channel, and I appreciate it. So first off, you want to get into your stand and out of your stand, or your ground blind, or you're hunting the ground, or wherever you're doing it. You want to get in undetected, and you want to get out undetected. My advice is the last maybe 100 to 200 yards of your area where you're going to hunt, that's where you want to be the quietest. And that's where you want to be scent free. And that's where you want to go undetected. So if you make your way into your areas more than just during the times that you hunt, then you want to, if it's the same path that you take, or whatever the path is, same route that you take in and out, you want to remove sticks and debris and leaves and things that are going to make noise when you're walking in. If you're walking in the dark, or if you're walking out in the dark, or midday, whatever the case is, you want to remove those things from your path. You want to remove any limbs that have fallen down. You want to take them, put them to the side. Or you want to, any type of eye pokers or little branches coming down, you want to snip them or bend them off or whatnot, just so they're not in your way when you're coming in. Any little tidbit of noise can be a problem when you're walking to your hunting location. All right. So as far as being quiet, sometimes it's just a matter of going slow and changing the cadence of your walk. So if you just have a normal walk, like a normal person, you want to change that when you walk in. You maybe walk a little bit, stop. Walk a little bit, stop. And then maybe stop a couple times, or change the way you move your feet. You know, you can scuff your feet a little bit, or you can just to do small steps. Just continuously change the cadence of your walk when you walk in. Because a deer knows what a human sounds like. It doesn't sound like a dog. It doesn't sound like another deer. It sounds like a person. It's a slow, steady walk that is repetitive. And you just want to change that up so you do not, if they do hear you, you want to just change that cadence up so you do not sound like a human. Even if you walk slow, they may be able to hear you, but if you change that cadence up, they're not going to pick up on it. All right, so another thing is going in scent free. Ultimately, that goes with the wind. You want to try to keep the wind in your face, and you want to practice good scent control. Ultimately, that's what you want. Sometimes walking in and walking out, the wind's going to change, and you're not always going to get that opportunity. But try to choose routes that have the main wind, or if the wind is horrible for that day, don't hunt that day, or don't hunt that location. Try to pick multiple locations for multiple more predominant winds that you have in your area. It's very important to get in undetected, and it's almost equally as important to get out undetected, because sometimes there could be deer right near you and you don't even know it. So you get down from your stand, or you pack up or whatnot. That's all movement and rustling around. And then when you leave, you may spook a deer, and then they may not go back to that area. Or they may not go back to that area right away. Just a little tip there. So the next thing that you want to check is the wind. And the wind and the sign. You only want to be hunting around fresh sign. So if you're not hunting around fresh sign, the deer aren't there because there's no fresh sign there. You need to change your spot. You need to change it up. And that's very, very hard for people to do, because they have this stand. Maybe you killed the deer in it last year, or you killed the deer in it every year, you know. But try to check the time of the year, or maybe it was a certain time or a certain wind that you hunted that stand, and that's where you got those deer. Those deer may just come through there on a rainy day, or they may come through there on a warm day. There may not be any rhyme to reason to it, but if you're not seeing deer and you're not around fresh sign, chances are that they're not going to come by, you know? So you got to change up your spot. And as far as the wind, I use scent lock. And scent lock, I believe that you don't really need to watch the wind as much, but that doesn't mean that I abandon the things that have given me confidence over the years. So I still follow the wind a little bit. If it changes or if it's not that great, I still hunt it because I hold confidence in the scent lock that I wear. And I have otherwise I have pretty good scent control, and that's how I follow the wind. But if you're not using that, and so say you have a stand, right, and there's tons of fresh sign there, and the wind is off, you don't hunt that stand that day. You know, you choose another location with a better wind. Those are the breaks, you know. All right, so the last thing that I have to say about is you need to utilize the tools that you have. So the tools that I come down to is scouting, I use cameras, and my time. So I'm going to do this in a reverse a little bit here. So say you only have a certain allotted time to hunt. So say you just have Saturdays to hunt, right? And you have all day Saturday to hunt. And if you're not hunting over fresh sign or you're not seeing deer, maybe you want to scout in the morning and then hunt at night. Or maybe days before work or after work or whatever your schedule is, choose some time to do some more scouting, maybe before work or after work. Just for an hour, just for 2 hours, trying to find that fresh sign. And there's no shame in moving a tree stand in the middle of the season, or moving a ground blind, or just going to another spot in attempt to see deer and find fresh sign. There's no shame in that. In fact, you're going to get more deer by doing that. And this all falls into the category as you're not seeing deer and you need to change something up. You need to change something. What it is, you're going to have to tweak that. It might be your scent control. It might be your exit. It might be your entrance. It might be the time. You're not utilizing your time well, you know. So as far as your cameras, put your cameras up. Try, like if you find some fresh sign, put your cameras up. You go in, you check them, or if you have cell cameras, whatever. But your cameras are not a tell-all. Just because of that, 20, 40 feet in front of your camera, there's no deer there, it doesn't mean that there's no deer in the area. It just means that they didn't step in front of your camera. As long as that sign is there, the deer are coming through. Now, you don't know if they're coming through in the dark or the daylight, but if the sign is there, the cameras aren't a tell-all. The cameras are a convenience, and they help you out a lot. And then the last one is scouting. Sometimes you need to scout during season. I do. And my success rate or my ability to see more deer has gone up dramatically the more scouting I do. So if, say you're in a spot and you have a good exit and entry and you're following your scent and you're going in undetected and you're following the wind and you're following the sign, maybe you just need to tweak something a little bit. You know, maybe you need to turn your stand, or maybe you need to move it 20 feet to the right, or something like that. Maybe they're just scrolling around you, or maybe they're scrolling around your camera, or something like that. If the sign's there, you got to tweak it a little bit. There's a lot of people that think that, well, it's just a matter of time until they come in front of me. Well, if they're not coming in front of you, then maybe there's a reason they're not coming in front of you. You know, maybe you got good scent control and they just think you're a little further away, and they're just routing around you. You know, maybe they get bumped every day by you walking in or walking out, you know, and they just choose a different route around where you're situated, you know. So you got to change something up. You got to put that scouting in. And I think if you're not seeing deer and you put some more scouting in, you're going to see more success. It's tough, though. It's tough to leave those spots that you have confidence in and then move somewhere else. You're always going to think that you need to be in that other spot because that's where you had some success. But there's really no shame in moving to another spot. All right, I hope that all this is helpful for you, and I hope that it makes sense, and I hope that you use it, and I hope that you have success. All right, please sub the channel, make some comments, and like some of my videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye.